Hi and welcome to TechRadar. I'm phones writer Tom Bedford here with our full review of the Xiaomi Mi 11. The Xiaomi Mi 11 is the new big flagship phone from the company, following on from the Mi 10 in 2021, and it's likely to be the brand's biggest phone of the year. It's a premium phone which really closely rivals the Samsung Galaxy S21 and, when they come out, probably the Oppo Find X3 and OnePlus 9 as well. You're probably wondering though, he's reviewing the Xiaomi Mi 11 but he's only holding the box. Where's the phone itself? Well, it's right here because you're watching video recorded from the phone. Right now you're watching from the rear camera video, and this is on the front camera. Since video quality is such a large selling point of the Xiaomi Mi 11, we thought we'd kick off this review with a little movie sample. Let us know what you think of the quality in the comments below. But now let's dive into our full Xiaomi Mi 11 review. This is Xiaomi's biggest phone in a while with a 6.81-inch screen. This AMOLED display has a 2.5K resolution, 120Hz refresh rate and 1500 nits max brightness. What does this mean? Well, everything looks bright and bold with top contrast and detail, more so than on most phones at this price point. With movies or games, that's doubly true thanks to Xiaomi's AI imaging engine. This can automatically add HDR to photos and increase the quality and frame rate of videos, improving the base photo or video, though we did find it didn't always make a noticeable difference. It should make your Netflix or YouTube experience that little bit better though. Moving on to the phone's design, this is a marvellously sleek device thanks to the slender frame and bright colour. It's a big phone, so some might find it hard to hold, but it's long and thin, so it's not too hard to get your hand around. It's got a USB-C port, though no 3.5mm headphone jack, as well as a power button, volume rocker and infrared blaster. An infrared blaster lets you use your smartphone as a remote control for a TV, AC unit or other such device. A few different companies use this kind of tech, but Xiaomi puts IR blasters in almost all its phones. The Xiaomi Mi 11 has an in-screen fingerprint sensor for unlocking your phone, but we found it a little temperamental and it didn't always pick up our touch straight away. The camera bump on the back is one of the more unique styles we've seen. It's stepped, with each lens sticking out a different amount. Compared to most Xiaomi phones, the cameras don't stick out too far though, reducing the amount of scuffing the bump will get over time. Talking of cameras, let's move on to one of the phone's best features. Xiaomi remains the biggest champion of 108 megapixel main cameras, and that's the case here with a super high resolution sensor. Standard photos are full of detail, and they're fairly bright too, with good contrast, something the AI optimization probably has a hand in. More importantly, 108 megapixel pictures are a bit better than they were on previous Xiaomi phones, as this is a newer version of the high-res sensor, so the snaps are a little bit brighter with better colours. The next rear camera is a 13 megapixel ultra-wide camera, something else we've seen Xiaomi phones use plenty before, and pictures taken with it look even brighter than on the main camera, though definitely not as detailed. Our favourite camera is the 5 megapixel telemacro one. Macro cameras take pictures of close-up things, but a telemacro one lets you do it from further away, letting you take a snap without you putting the Mi 11 right in the way of all the light. We've been really impressed with all the telemacro snaps we've captured so far, as you can get so close to small objects that you can see all the patterns and details you might otherwise miss. As with the ultra-wide camera, the 20 megapixel selfie camera doesn't really bring any improvements on previous Xiaomi phones, but it still takes good looking selfies. We did find that portrait mode sometimes blurred our hair as part of the background though. Xiaomi's been marketing the videography side of the Mi 11 heavily, and there are some new features that we haven't seen on the Xiaomi phone before. There are a few movie modes here that are fun to play around with, like a dolly zoom mode, a mode which freezes objects in motion on the screen, and the option to mirror the top half of the screen to create a folding effect. These are fun to play around with, as are the new filter options intended to replicate a movie style colour grade, but we found the movie modes hard to use, as you need a lot of space, a human subject and a well lit environment. Next, let's look at the phone's performance. The Xiaomi Mi 11 uses the Snapdragon 888 chipset, a top-end 5G processor that provides really high speeds. In fact, the Xiaomi Mi 11 beats any other phone we've tested in our benchmark test. When playing games, editing videos and opening apps, the phone felt super smooth. Gaming in particular is great thanks to the processor and two other things. Firstly, there's a 480Hz touch input rate, so the phone scans for touch 480 times per second, roughly 4 times more frequently than most other devices, so your reactions in games can be almost instantaneous.
Secondly, the phone has dual stereo speakers tuned by HARMAN KARDON, which sound great. These are also useful for listening to music or watching movies if you don't use headphones. The Xiaomi Mi 11 runs on Android 11 with Xiaomi's MIUI interface laid over the top. This is a really popular custom Android fork, and for good reason. There are loads of customization options ranging from ones which many phone brands use, like widgets and changes to app icons, to some unique ones. These include Xiaomi's own live wallpapers or a separate swipe down notification list and quick settings menu. Some people do complain about MIUI, and for good reason. Usually it's packed with bloatware. That issue is largely, though not completely, solved here, and we were pleased to see far fewer pre-installed apps than most Xiaomi phones have. Now we've got to move on to our biggest issue with the Xiaomi Mi 11, and that's its battery life. The phone has a 4600 mAh battery, which would normally be standard for a flagship phone, but the Xiaomi Mi 11's great features take their toll. Aspects of the device, like its high refresh rate, always on display, and live wallpapers really sap the power, and sure, you could turn them off or down, but then you'd be missing some of the best bits of the phone. As it stands, we generally could get the phone through a day with light to medium use, but if we wanted to play lots of games, go on a photography spree, or stream movies on the go, we found we'd need to cut out other uses in order to survive. Powering up is quick, at least. There's 55 watt wired, 50 watt wireless, and 10 watt reverse wireless charging, so we found if we suspected the phone was at risk of running out of power, it didn't take much to juice it back up.
We know what you're wondering now, how much did the Xiaomi Mi 11 cost? Well, at the moment we've got the Euro price, which is €749. Now that's just a shade under the Xiaomi Mi 10's price, and that phone ended up selling for £799 sterling, $1,699 Australian dollars, and those convert to about $1,000 US dollars. So we could see the price replicated or maybe undercut a little bit. Overall, we've been pleased with the phone's new camera modes, especially the macro camera, although the video modes are fun to play around with too. The display looks great, and it might appeal to people who'd otherwise looked for the Samsung Galaxy S21, but we did find the fingerprint sensor a little bit tricky to use sometimes. Our biggest issue was with the battery life though, as day-long battery life was far from a guarantee. So thanks for watching this video. Do you like the look of the phone, or do you have any reservations? Let us know in the comments below. For more tech news, reviews and analysis, head on over to TechRadar.com or subscribe to our YouTube channel right here.